My Gavan and Melanine, and well met indeed. I am Arachir Galadirthan, the head of Divide and Conquer, and welcome back to Divide and Conquer as we continue on as the Vale of Anduin. But before we continue on with the Vale of Anduin, I should just like to make one brief announcement. Oh, I want to edit that as well. Look at that annoying little square there. But that announcement is that today, on the 21st of June, I uploaded the latest changelog for version 1. We are very close with version 1 now, as I say. So that's just around the corner. So I've uploaded the changelog of work that's been done so that you can have a read of it before version 1 comes, kind of as a way to generate a little bit of hype, as they say, around version 1. Now, I also wanted to get one minor change into the video that you can expect in version 1 of the sharp-eyed amongst you may already have seen it. And that is, as listed in the changelog, I've changed the colour scheme of some of the factions. But before I go into detail on that, the changelog can be found on ModDB. On the front page, the first news article, the main one right there, has the changes from the update that I added today has. But if you click on the link present there, then you will get the entire changelog of version 1, the entirety of the changelog. Bear in mind that the changelog I uploaded today is just the updates since the last time we updated the changelog. The actual changelog itself is quite in-depth, quite detailed. But anyway, the colour changes. First and foremost, Khazad-dûm are no longer orange. They are now a dark grey, sort of slaty grey, close to black. They're different enough from the rebels, as you can see there. The rebels have a more silvery, sort of bright white colour, bright grey colour. But Khazad-dûm are a dark grey now, no longer orange. The orange that Khazad-dûm used to be has now been given to Khand to really differentiate them from Harad, because beforehand they were a similar colour of red to Harad, and at first glance it was difficult to really tell who was whom. So they've been given an orange colour, kind of as you can see, bridging the gap between Run's brighter orange with a white border and Harad's dark, red with a whitish cream border. They've been given a darker orange with a black border, so they really stand out on that eastern side now. Additionally, Mordor and Isengard were both black. There was no real difference between them, so once their borders met, it was actually quite difficult to tell who was whom. So, Isengard, I've deepened their black colour. They were 48, 48, 48, and now they're, I think, 14, 14, 14. So they're darker black than they were before. And Mordor are now a very dark red, as you can see here, which I kind of prefer. I mean, obviously, the thing that everyone knows about Mordor is the Eye of Sauron. So the red links into that a little better, as it's obviously dark reds and oranges in the eye there. And I think it just adds a nice... It's nice to have... it is nice to have every faction with a unique colour. Whereas Isengard and Mordor before were identical. So, yeah, that I wanted to get rid of that. And while I was fiddling around with the colours, I thought I'd take that chance. Additionally, Gondor have been made ever so slightly more creamier than the pure brilliant white that they were before. So it's kind of just like a more matte version of white, as you can see there. You might not be able to make out the difference. Personally, I could, and I'm pleased with that darkening of their colour scheme. Oh, I didn't press play on the keyboard again. Curses. So the main change, obviously, is Khazad-dûm's colour change there. But please have a read of the changelog. If you're on ModDB, feel free to pop a comment on, and I will reply to that. I'm going to monitor it a bit more now due to my my lack of monitoring has made way for some interesting scenarios on ModDB and some truly outstanding internet arguments with wonderful use of swear words. Check that out at your leisure. Additionally, something I wanted to talk about as we now return to the base game is when I've been the modding leader now for, I don't know, a couple of years, and I've been on the mod for I think about 3 years, maybe 4 years. When was I at university? 4 years. 4 years ago. I've been on the mod for 4 years, and I've been the leader, I think, for 2 of those years. And ever since coming leader, the question I get asked the most is, when is the next version going to be released? When is the next version going to be released? And I got fed up of saying, we don't tell you when the next version is going to be released, because if we do tell you and we don't deliver on that exact date, then we are met with a fierce reaction, and it's just not worth it. It is easier just to never tell you. However, explaining that, people would then come up with arguments as to why it was a good idea to tell the release date, and they just love the mod so much, they just really want to know when the next one's going to come out. They don't know whether or not they should start a campaign because the next one's going to ruin their campaign. And so, to stop all questions whatsoever, I came up with the answer 7. Many of you may have seen it. And quite simply, I literally just press the number 7, and that's the answer. No explanation, no nothing. And over on ModDB, on the comments section now, the conspiracy theories, for want of a better word, that have arisen because of this 7 are completely amazing. Absolutely outstanding. I never thought in my wildest dreams people would ever actually think 7 meant anything. So I'm very pleased that you all went a bit crazy thinking about what 7 meant. It was obviously, people now just think I mean July when I don't. I mean, the mod is around the corner. Yes, it might be July, but it might, I mean, it might even still be June. It might even be after July. I don't know, but we're close. That's all I can tell you. But 7 doesn't expressly mean July. It's just become unfortunate that we're now around July, and people have started to think that it's obvious that I mean that it's coming out in July. But it doesn't. There's no meaning. There's no link. I literally just made it up to drive people crazy.
Yes, my lord.
And it has done exactly that. So I'm very pleased. Right, that's enough babbling. My apologies. Just wanted to get all those little notifications out of the way. Right, let's crack on with what we're actually doing. Now, as I have said, my victory conditions are to take down the Misty Mountains. Oh dear, the mouse is having a bit of a bad day. Take down the Misty Mountains, reclaim Rakyberg and Forodrine from the dwarves, and harvest up the remaining 2 regions in Mirkwood. So that's on the way.
Your orders, my lord.
I don't know what I'm doing with Fastred. I don't know where I'm moving him. I can't remember what I was going to do. Are we going to take him north and clear out the threat of Angmar there? No, they'll pull away because, as we just saw, Angmar are severely depleted. I don't know why the screen is moving around so slowly. I can't figure out what it is. Oh well.
Your orders,
so Fastred. Oh, I also want Roscabel from Dorwinion, and I'm not sure if I'm going to go to war with them to get that or try and buy it from them. Yeah, that seems to have resolved itself a little. And when are we going to go to war with the dwarves? Is that our current plan? I should have watched the last one, really. Oh, I should also say, of course, that I apologise this didn't come out yesterday. I've been very hectic. I've been... lots of things going on in real life, and this kind of just slipped my mind until the last minute, and I thought, oh, curses. And of course, yesterday evening, England playing Slovakia. And unlike, I assume, many modders, well, that's very stereotypical. I shouldn't assume, but I absolutely love football. Indeed, I was a goalkeeper for my university, and now that I have a proper job that doesn't make me work weekends, I look to take up football again. And I love football. Proud supporter of Watford FC. Come on, you horns. But England were playing Slovakia, and we were held to a 0-0 draw, as I'm sure many of you would know. Thus meaning Wales topped the group. So many congratulations to Wales, or should we say many congratulations to Chris Coleman, Gareth Bale and Aaron Ramsey, as that is essentially the Welsh team. Ha 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 ha. Although we're obviously not done much better. It'll be interesting to see what happens now in the next stages. But there we are. So, I apologise that this is late and has gone up on mods today, Tuesday. Right, I think, Fastred, you go and deal with Dor Lingvar, and you've got the troops.
Your orders, my lord.
Who are you? Beorn. Beorn the Respected. We don't really have any actual enemies currently. Ah, Anon and a Rod. That's where we're going, isn't it? Of course, of course, of course. You make your way over for the moment to Brewenholt, and we'll replenish you there.
Taking camp here.
Yes, my lord.
Bjorn's probably got enough, actually, then. So, Fastred, you also now go to Brewenholt. I wish I'd remembered that. He's gone a whole turn in the wrong direction now. And we are starting to make money. What else was I going to say? I was going to say something else. Oh, yes, the Skyrim video. Thank you very much for the support on Skyrim. I was very anxious to play Skyrim. Even now, I still think that I don't find Let's Plays very enjoyable myself, and it's always in the back of my mind that I'm just going to be really boring. And why would anyone want to listen to me? And the problem with Skyrim is, of course, it's quite more intensive, so I don't talk as much. Similarly to the Warhammer game. So I'm pleased that many of you liked it indeed, and I do hope to continue on here and there, but it might become a staple of the channel, like, in the future, down the line. But in the short term, I will look to just do a few more
Yes,
modded
my
dungeons so that they're new to me as well as yourselves.
With honor.
And indeed, I liked the suggestion of
Your
playing
orders, my
Falskar
lord.
because I've played Falskar,
Yes.
but I only got about halfway
We can go
through,
no further, my lord.
and I thought that was quite a good idea actually to do a whole Falskar playthrough on that character. So
Yes, my lord.
I will likely do that in the future, but at the moment I haven't got too much free time at the moment, so trying to keep it to these shorter videos. We're just ending turn, really, aren't we? In reply to the gentleman who sent me a personal message about what do I use to record and what do I use to edit, well, in answer to the latter, I don't edit the videos at all. The only time I edit them is if it crashes and I have to merge two together, and to do that I use AVI Demux, or I've always called it Avid Emux, but I think it's AVI Demux, or Avid Emux, I don't know. AVIDEMUX. I use that, I merge them together. It takes like 20 seconds and it saves them exactly as they're recorded. So, and I use NVIDIA to record it, which you might notice when it does loading screens. I'm pretty sure in the top corner here it shows the two little
Your
NVIDIA
orders,
symbols.
my lord.
I've got a graphics card that has the
With
capability
honor.
to do the
Taking
recording.
camp here.
Can't remember which one I've got actually. Not a particularly powerful NVIDIA one, but much better than my laptop
Yes,
I used
my
to have.
lord.
I think I'm on a
We
745
shall continue
GTX,
tomorrow.
is that one? 745, something like that. But anyway, it has the ability to record them, and I use that to record them. So, yeah, the only ones I actually edit are the lore videos, because I have to find the pictures, I've got to double check, like fill any gaps in my knowledge, so I kind of say what I'm going to say, work out what's missing, work out what was wrong, and then I edit it from there. And it takes a long time because I refuse to use the internet to do my research. So I've got my complete history of Middle-earth from Christopher Tolkien. I get them out. I've got my complete Lord of the Rings with the appendices. Get that ready.
Your orders, my lord.
Unfinished Tales is
We
quite
can
useful,
go
of
no
course.
further, my lord.
Yes, my lord.
And I'm trawling through them trying to find the correct references and correct bits and pieces. And then, of course, you've got to record it. But I suppose that's not technically editing, that's preparation, isn't it? I don't actually really edit any of the videos. I always came at this just as a hobby. I never wanted YouTube to take over too much of my time, because the realist in me says, like, I'm never going to make substantial money out of this. This isn't going to be a career path.
We would speak with you this day.
What? No.
Oh well. Our discussions come to a close.
He didn't sound very bothered, did he? Oh well. I'm not even near you, you numpties.
orders,
Why
my
on
lord.
earth are you demanding that I should
Honor. We shall continue tomorrow.
Yes, my
I should
lord.
bow before thee?
Yes.
I've been thinking a great deal about what campaigns will replace Anduin and Éothéod, and I am very, very heavily leaning towards Gondor, because one major key fact makes me want to play as Gondor, and that is that I have never played as Gondor. Believe it or not, I have never played as Gondor. In the base Third Age, before I discovered Dak, I only played as Imladris, Arnor, Erebor, and Rohan once, but I beat Isengard within about 15 turns, and I didn't want to do it again. And I didn't really want to carry on. I felt like my main enemy was gone then, so... And that's it. I never played as any evil faction. And yeah, no, that is it. Those 4 factions are all I ever played as. I've never played as Gondor. Other than I've done like the odd testing campaign with them for like 5-10 turns to test out features or stuff like that. But I've never seen a campaign with Gondor through to the end. So I'm very eager to play as Gondor. But of course, as everybody knows, and people routinely comment on about me, I am a Dol Amroth fanboy, as they say.
Your orders,
And
my lord.
I do indeed prefer
With
Dol
honor.
Amroth to Gondor.
Yes,
And
my
with the
lord.
changes we've made to the Variags
Yes.
and to Harad, the Dol Amroth and Gondor campaigns are equally as difficult and equally as challenging. So it kind of makes me want to play more as Dol Amroth, because I kind of prefer them. And I've played as Dol Amroth many times, and so I'd really like to see how different we've made their campaign. So I think my first faction vote will be, do you want to see Dol Amroth or do you want to see Gondor? Don't comment about it here yet. Obviously, there'll be a dedicated faction vote video, as there always is. And you can comment on that with that helpful straw poll website. And unlike last time, where I really didn't want to play as Isengard and they almost won, this time I'll happily play as either, so not bothered by the outcome. And then
Your
beyond
orders,
that,
my
of
lord.
course, the replacement for then the
With
other
honour.
campaign will almost
Yes, my
certainly
lord.
be an
Yes.
elf or a dwarven faction. Most likely Khazad-dûm. Khazad-dûm is actually now, as we speak, as I sit here at 11 o'clock in the morning on the 21st of June, Khazad-dûm is now completely playable. We're just working out the last few little oddities and bugs and gameplay features here and there. But as it stands, you can play Khazad-dûm in DAC. It has finally been fixed, so many thanks to Calatharok indeed for that. Let's work on getting a bit of money, as I've spoken about nothing really related to this campaign so far. We don't really want chicken farming, actually, because we can't really upgrade our towns, so it's a bit of a waste. And in light of that fact, actually, let's get rid of the chicken farming. If you don't have anything useful to build, then just don't build anything at all. Oh, roads, yes please. We're going to need them when we turn on the dwarves. How much free upkeep? How many free? 3 from there and 3 from there. 6. And you've got 1 of each of those, so get 3 of them and take 1 of them. I'll patch that out. We need strong defense to be ready there, because obviously that will be the turning point of the dwarves. As expected, Angmar have sodded off because their own lands are at risk, and so we are not enough of a threat. Oh, look, there's Radagast.
Your orders.
I am a warrior, not a diplomat.
Is there anything we particularly want to do? Have we got any missions or anything, actually? Take settlement, Litash. Litash is this settlement here. We don't want to do that, so no. I shan't be
Your
taking that
orders, my
settlement
lord.
anytime
Yes, my lord.
soon. But if Angmar are clearing out of we could move Gleerwine out of his mountain and bring his army down as well, and then completely overrun Anon and Arod. Oh, the Vale of Anduin now have some good ancillaries that were lurking in the files and weren't being used. I don't understand that at all. We've got about, I would say, there are still about 25 to 30 Lord of the Rings based ancillaries in the files that are for some reason in the file but don't have any triggers. So you can't actually get them. But they're in there, they've got a picture, they've got a description, they've been completely set up, but you can't actually get
Your
them.
orders, my lord.
And I'm really astounded as to
Yes,
who
my
would have
lord.
added all of these ancillaries and then just left them. Now that retraining is probably not retraining the troops, because we can't train anything, so they're getting upgrades to probably that, their archer skill, maybe the blacksmith indeed. So those units will stay there actually.
Your
When
orders,
Fastred
my
arrives,
lord.
we'll take the
With
best units we
honour.
can get. Someone called Thweenand has come of age. Right, yeah, we're going to leave behind you, and Thweenand, who's just come of age.
Yes.
Yes, my lord. Your orders.
Gleerwine the Honourable is going to head south. Is Celeberg
We shall
training troops? Did I
continue
train troops
tomorrow.
there in the end? No, we're not making really enough money to train
Yes,
troops.
my lord.
So Gleerwine, you also
Making
head to
camp here.
Your
Breerenholt.
orders, my lord.
How many until that's done? 2 turns. I'm pleased that you all appreciated in the Skyrim video that I'm not actually particularly that great at the game. But then being great at the game is not a requirement to making an entertaining video, I've never thought. And arguably being bad at the game is more entertaining than being outstanding. Because then it makes for more interesting situations. I'd like to think that my archery skill is actually pretty phenomenal. And I'm quite good at doing like firing on the fly, like quickly knocking the arrow and firing into their path and hitting the enemy. But I've played archery and it's so much that I wanted to play with magic this time, and so that's why I'm a magic character at the moment. Isengard and Mordor have joined hands, and Erebor have lost their king. Oh, you curse you elves! No! Right, let's hope they lose.
Yes, my
Gleerwine.
lord.
Swift action is
Yes.
needed. How are they going to lose that? They've got a huge army. Oh, if the elves take Rakiberg, we've so many plans down the drain.
Your orders, my lord.
Fastred is now only a turn
With
away from
honour.
Bruinholt, though, which is good. Our unit's getting trained. And we will now take Dol Guldur, or Amunlank, the Naked Hill, the Bear Hill. We're closing in on that question and answer video as well. And I changed my mind about that, actually. I will start accepting questions when we reach about 850 or 4,850. And then I will release the video
Honour,
when we reach 5,000.
victory.
So
My lord, our courage and honour have conquered.
it won't be I won't wait till I've reached 5,000 and then start accepting questions. I'll release it as soon as I reach 5,000. Right, they shouldn't hate me too much. There's a big cultural difference. 0% Northman culture. So we're going to need to leave someone here. What about if we just left Grimbeorn?
Yes.
Yes. You stay there while
Yes,
Vidigavia
my lord.
heads over here to take
With
Dorlingvar.
honour.
Which looks like the elves are getting ready to come and take. Well, with the elves being pushed south by the dwarves, they're probably scraping to take anywhere they can, aren't they? Now those units look quite good, so get yourself 2 units of archers and train a unit of them, and then I'll take everything but you
By your command,
with me over there.
we can go no further today.
With Amunlank in our possession, we now earn a bit more money, so we can afford to do that. Now we do have to be careful because the enemy will come for us up here. If Angmar start really losing ground, they will
Your
also come
orders,
this
my
way.
lord.
Oh, curses! No! Very well. Our prize will have to be Erebor and nothing less than Erebor. So for the meantime, how easily can you get
Yes.
around there? Oh, quite easily,
Taking
actually.
camp here.
You go and see what you can do about Dol Bryn.
Yes, my lord.
Right, Fastred.
Orders.
Your orders,
What do we
my
want to
lord.
do here? I would like to take 103 of them, yes, 110, 119,
Your
123.
will, my lord. As you
Just
wish.
4 units.
Yes,
Get
my
rid of the
lord.
Hobbit archers,
Your will, my lord.
woodland
My
units, and
Your
them.
will, my lord. By your command.
We've also got these
My
3
lord.
coming in, 3 good cavalry units, but then they could supplement this army, can't they? So if that army just keeps those 2, I don't know, in Boiron.
With honour.
Your
So
orders,
Fastred
my lord.
joins them and takes those,
Yes, my lord.
and then you guys join Barm and
March
become
to
a secondary
exhaustion.
army.
Your orders, my lord.
We'll leave those lot behind. That's a good start, good start.
I'm gonna stick you.
Apparently we can retrain our Master Grimbeorn. Okay, and another end turn comes. Right, so our plans have to change. We can no longer get Rakyberg. Not really interested in Moria. I fought Moria in the Enid Wythe campaign. It's a very boring settlement, I must confess. I would like the added Dwarven settlements by Leo are so intricate and so detailed, and they're so much better. And so I'm tempted to just take one of those and just swap Moria out for it. But the problem is that Moria is obviously notable for one major fact, and that is the Doors of Durin.
Yes,
The
my lord.
Emun Durin.
With honour.
Oh, is
We
it Emun?
shall engage.
No,
We shall
Anon.
continue tomorrow.
His gate. Anon. Enun. Oh, I don't know. CBA.
Your will, my
The internet will tell you just as
Your
quickly.
orders, my lord. Yes, my lord.
So, the Doors of Durin obviously are
Your
quite
orders, my
recognisable.
lord.
So whilst I could put a big
Yes.
detailed Dwarven city in there, it would take me 2 seconds to change
Yes,
that
my
town. I
lord.
just need to change the creators of the town, and boom, I could have it looking like Erebor in a moment flat. I could have it looking like Thorin's Halls, which would actually work quite well, because if we take a look at Thorin's Halls, Toggle Fog of Wars, Thorin's Halls is already orientated to face east and face west, as you can see with the 2 doors, so it would fit in the east-west gap of Khazad-dûm very, very nicely. However, I think at this current time, Thorin's Halls is the base Erebor map, which is actually quite dull as well. The best ones are Danes Halls, and Erebor itself. Fahamgathol, oh, it's not called that, is it? Kiriggathol, sorry. They're the best ones. And sadly, I struggle with the modding of the editing of settlements. I've always struggled with it. But I really don't like the Khazad map, unfortunately. It's also very hard to place things on the chasm.
With honor.
The obviously
Yes, my
the
lord.
bridge of Khazad.
Yes.
It's hard to place units there, and it'd be way easier to defend with the. Because part of the way the dwarves have as their defense, and I think it works very well if you turn battle timers on, is that the dwarven cities are very, very extensive. It takes you a long time to get to the square, and that is basically planned. That's on purpose, because obviously the dwarves don't have swift movement, but they do have incredible architecture. So the city itself is kind of fighting against you. Whereas, oh bugger. Whereas with like human settlements and whatnot, obviously they're just standard 4 walls, 4
We
gates.
must make a stand.
You can
We
get
are
to the centre very
besieged.
easily. But the dwarves
Your orders,
use
my lord.
their
With
their
honour.
architectural prowess to work against you. Oh, and Angmar are coming back. We moved out too quickly, and now they're on their way.
Orders. My
And we're
lord.
shifting troops again. That was a poor decision.
We can go no further
But if we can
today.
take Dolbrin, then that will make up for it. We'll come back for Mount Gleowine in time.
I'm gonna
And we are
stick you.
definitely going to lose Huntmaster Beorn,
Yes, my lord.
I'm afraid.
Your orders, my lord.
They'll attack before I can get there. There's no way they're going to just let that stay with one. Have we got a family tree? Yes, we have. Who is the current heir to you, Huntmaster Beorn? Is it Boiron, Vidgavia, Braun, Barband? Or is it one of your brothers? Ah, no, it's Gleowine the Honourable. Yes, Gleowine! He's finally going to be known for what he is. Oh, and also that's what the new victory conditions are going to look like. Because the victory conditions change quite regularly, and we've never really updated the UI, and we don't have the UI that the base game has anyway. So I opted to just, don't consider that your victory condition map any longer. Just think of it as showing you who your faction is, really. It's just the cooler image that each faction has of themselves. So that we never have to update them again.
Yes, my lord.
Now, I apologise
As you
as well,
command,
because this episode
we
has been
shall
another what
obey.
I would consider filler.
Yes.
And not filler in that
Your
I've just
orders, my
hammed it in and not bothered to do anything, but we haven't had to fight anyone, and we're just preparing for things. So I apologise for that, but I will be bringing the episode to a close now, and obviously nothing's really
Yes, my
happened.
lord.
But the next one is going to be
Your
very
orders, my
eventful,
lord.
as we lose our faction leader, almost
honour.
certainly. We should be able to take Anon and Arod in a gruesome battle, and we're going to try and take Dol Bryn. We might also lose Mount Gleowine, and we might take Dol Ingvar and Amulank. So the next few videos could be only battles, depending on how long they take. But that will conclude this Anduin one. So thank you very much for watching and listening, if indeed you have. I've given you quite a bit of information in this one. I apologise for the overload. Stay tuned. The hype is real. Version 1 is on the way. So do keep with us for that. And Enedwythe and Number will go up as usual this week, and then there'll be, again, a lore video and Soulstorm at the weekend. But for now, that is all. So thank you very much for watching, if indeed you have. The link to the changelog is in the description. And until we speak again, dear friends, Navar Naden Pedemad de Melonin, and fare thee well.